Hello friends, welcome to Daily Flow Yoga and Meditation. My name is James. In this week's simple vinyasa flow, we'll move through a couple of fairly straightforward sequences, linking breath and movement and waking up those hips and opening up those low backs and hamstrings. Hopefully it'll get you warm and ready for your day or for your evening. I hope you enjoy it, and please never hesitate to reach out directly to me. I'm James at dailyflow.yoga. I'm here for any questions, any concerns, and any special requests. I'd love to hear from you. So as you make your way to your back, if you have a block handy, you can take a restorative bridge. So if I don't, but if you have one, you lift into a bridge and slide a block right at the top of the pelvic bone. Otherwise, come into a constructive rest. Your feet are about as wide as the mat. Knees knock into the midline. And maybe you place one hand on your belly and one on your heart as you allow your eyes to flutter closed. Not trying to breathe in any special way just yet. Just breathe and know that you're breathing. And as you settle in, putting the world on pause for the next hour or so, giving yourself permission to be present with whatever's happening for you. Under no obligation to make any specific shape. Or to do anything else for that matter. Together we'll take 3 cleansing rounds of breath, inhaling through the nose, expanding, opening, exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Once more, inhaling, this time hold at the top just for a moment before exhaling completely. Walk your feet in so they're about hip width apart, and your fingertips are able to brush your heels. If you had your back on a block, go and remove that to the side. We're going to start with a little bit of just moving in and out of a bridge pose. So curling your spine off the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. Slowly, mindfully lifting into your bridge. And then when you arrive at the top, making your way down the same way you came. Nothing is rushed. Nothing hurried, just continue to move like that on your own. Inhales bring you slowly into a bridge. Brief pause at the top before exhaling and coming down the way you came. Once more, inhale, curl the spine up. Exhale, lower it down. Bring your knees in towards your chest, and then bring your forehead to tap your knees. So feel a little spreading of the shoulder blades here and an anchoring in the low ribs. See if you can breathe into that space. Big inhale, and then exhale. Stay in your little cocoon ball. Once more, inhaling, exhaling. Yoga likes 3s. Inhale, expand the space in your back. And this time as you exhale, lower your head down, but keep your knees in nice and close. Continue hugging the right knee as you send the left leg long. Release the left heel to the mat. And then make little circles with that right knee. Opening up into the right hip space just a little bit as we slowly get started. We're coming into a half happy baby pose. So flex the right foot towards the ceiling, and then you can hold on to the thigh, or maybe the ankle, or maybe your peace fingers of the right hand grab the right big toe. You're not obligated to that if that feels like a lot this early in practice. And then actively start to flex through the left foot. So it's as though the left foot is trying to stomp on the wall in front of you, and then the right foot starts to yearn for the ceiling. The right knee can stay very bent, or maybe it lengthens a little bit. But the main event here is feeling the opening of the hip and the spread of the shoulders and the upper back across the mat. Big inhale. Exhale, release any hold you have and give the knee another little hug in. Make a little circle to the right and to the left. And we're taking an easy supine twist. So guide the right shin across your body, taking it towards the left. Right arm can go out to the side as you look over at that right thumb. Just breathing. Inhales create space. Exhales allow you to release into that space. And then with as little effort as possible, coming back into the center. Bring the left knee in to meet the right. Bring the forehead to meet the knees or come close to it. That's the intended direction. They don't have to touch. And then again, we'll breathe into that back space. Big inhale. Stay as you exhale. Inhale, feel that space between the shoulder blades. Exhale. Last time, inhale to expand into the low ribs. And then keep the left knee close as you send the right leg long. Release the head down. Make those little circles with the left knee, one direction, and then the other. And then we'll set up for that half happy baby on this side. So begin by just flexing the left foot towards the ceiling. You can stay holding the thigh, or maybe left peace fingers find left big toe, or maybe you hold the ankle or calf, that's all fine. And then feel as though the right foot is trying to flex towards the front wall, activating the right leg. And maybe the left heel starts to reach for the ceiling. Again, it's not about having a straight leg, that doesn't matter at all. What matters is the opening of the hip and the hamstring and the spread of the shoulders, so you feel the support of the mat. Big inhale. And as you exhale, release whatever bind you have, give the knee a hug, and then guide it across your body, coming to your supine twist. Right shoulder blade is wrapped under, left arm is long beside you. Maybe look over to the left. Using the breath to release whatever you might be holding on to this morning. And reminding yourself that the upper back, the part around the ribs, is the part that actually twists. So if you feel tightness in the hips, you can also just back off a bit. And then bring everything back into the center. And for the last time, hug both knees in. Tap forehead towards knees. And this time, cross your shins and just start to rock forward and back along the length of your spine. Eventually, if you're able, rolling yourself all the way over, coming to all fours, setting up for some cats and cows. However you need to get there is great. And as you set up, the wrist creases are parallel to the top edge of your mat. 10 fingers spread wide. And any expression here that feels right is good to me. Generally, of course, inhales, release the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chin. Exhales, tuck the tailbone around the spine. But if there's anything else that's reaching out to you, calling out to you, little wags or circles, it's all fine. Nice time to check in. And then coming back into stillness, fingertips facing forward, spread wide. Check out those elbows. Sometimes they want to splay outward, and see if you can wrap them under, which gives you a little activation in the armpit. So the eye of the elbow is traveling forward towards the front of the mat. And then step back into your high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. If you'd like, you can walk your feet in a little bit. You can also walk them wider. Sometimes that feels nice. A little pedal out of the heels. Shake the head yes and no. Come into awareness of your breath if you lost that. And then returning to stillness. On your next inhale, unfurl your spine forward to your plank. And then exhale back to your down dog. We'll do a couple like that. Use the inhale to roll forward. Use the exhale to float the hips. Last time, inhale, roll forward. This time, as you exhale, release the knees. They'll land south of the hips. Just stay right here in this modified plank. Push the floor away and separate the shoulder blades like cow pose. And then pull the shoulder blades together, pull the heart forward. So these are scapular push-ups. Separate the shoulder blades as you push the mat away. Pull the shoulder blades together as you pull the heart forward. One more time. Separate those shoulder blades. Feel a little scoop out of the belly, and then pull the chest forward. Great. And then coming back into your neutral spine, step the right foot outside the right hand. Setting up for a little bit of a lizard here. You can let that right hip fall out to the right. Maybe right hand comes to right thigh or right knee. And it might be that you have the flexibility to bend the left knee and catch the left foot in your right hand. It's not so important, but if it feels good and you can do it without disrupting your posture, wonderful. And then send your breath really into that right hip space. Big inhale. Exhale, untangle all of that. Step the right knee back, and then bring the left foot forward. So in this sort of modified lizard shape, let the left knee fall out to the left. Maybe left hand comes to left knee, or maybe left hand catches right foot. Wrapping those ribs under, looking up, and then really send your breath into the left hip space. Inhaling. Exhaling. Go ahead and untangle all of that. Plant your hands. This time, step back to your plank and then to your downward facing dog. With soft knees, walk your feet forward to meet your hands. And we'll take a ragdoll here. So soft knees, hold opposite elbows, sway the hips left and right. Feel that release, the weight of your arms helping to open up space between each vertebra. Then releasing those elbows, press down through the feet, roll up slowly, one vertebra at a time. Arriving in your mountain pose. If it's comfortable for you, bring your feet to touch. Gather your hands in prayer at heart center. And take this opportunity to set an intention for your practice. A short positive statement for how you'd like to approach your time on the mat in the next remaining half hour or so. Inhaling. Exhaling. On the next inhale, float your hands overhead and stay right here. Palms might come to touch, or they might stay shoulder width. That's fine, especially if your upper back feels tight. Bringing them to touch might be a bit intense. But find the connection of your feet. Energize through the feet, send the hips just a little bit forward, and let the arms travel back. Not so much worried about the back bend. If that happens, that's fine. More concerned with the length from feet to fingertips. Inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward. Nice long back. Inhale, bringing hands to shins, flat back. As you exhale, step the left foot back, release the left knee, and untuck the toes. For right now, we'll keep our hands framing that right foot. We'll just have a little flow here. So on the inhale, you'll lengthen the right leg and bow over, a version of a half split, and then you'll re-bend as you exhale. So we're just moving through these two shapes. Inhaling, lengthening the right leg, bowing over it. Exhaling, re-bending the knee, lifting the heart. Last time, inhale, bow and lengthen. Exhale, re-bend the knee, lift the heart. This time, let the arms float up by the ears, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Nice opportunity, you can roll out those wrists if you'd like, or even cactus the arms, or cradle the head with interlaced fingers. I think that feels nice. Any of those options will do. Take your attention to the mat, to any connection you have with the mat, through the top of the left shin and left foot, through the right foot, and anchor down in order to lift the heart. Inhaling. Exhale, hands come back to the mat, step back to your downward facing dog. Option to take one vinyasa flow, inhale, rolling forward to your plank. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Little pedal out of the heels. Soft jaw, soft breath. One more round of breath, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, lift your right heel high into a down dog split. And as you exhale, step the foot between the hands. And if it doesn't make it, just grab the ankle and bring it up. And then feeling that connection of the feet, rise up to your high lunge. Inhaling. Exhaling. Once more, inhale. This time as you exhale, take a prayer twist to your right, hooking the left elbow outside the right knee. If that is not available to you, you can also just take the left forearm outside the right knee. So I'm demonstrating that if you need to see a modification that's a little less intense. If your palms are in prayer, actively press your palms together. Inhaling. Exhaling. Lovely. Inhale, release to the twist. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. And then hop that left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, find a long flat back. Exhale, bow. Reverse your swan dive, root to rise as you inhale. As you exhale, pull your prayer into heart center. Close your eyes, come back to your breath. We'll do all of that on the other side. Inhale, floats the hands overhead. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, find your flat back. As you exhale, step the right foot back, release the knee, and untuck the toes. So we'll have our little mini flow here. Think about pulling your heart forward, and then on your inhale, lengthen the left leg. It doesn't have to go all the way straight, and bow over it. And then just flowing back and forth. Inhale pulls the heart forward. Exhale. Re-bending, flowing with breath. I think I switched inhales and exhales. It's not that important. But the next time you find yourself with the left knee bent, stay in your runner's lunge here, and then rise up into your crescent lunge. Activating through the four corners of the left foot and the top of the right foot and the right shin, wrapping those shoulder blades under. Arms can be wherever they feel comfortable to you. There's not a rule about that. Inhaling. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. As you inhale, step back to your downward facing dog, and exhale, arrive in the pose. Option for one vinyasa. If you're taking it, inhale forward, exhale lower halfway. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, 2 rounds of breath, inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. On the next inhale, the left heel lifts high to sky. And as you exhale, float it between the hands. Again, if you need to grab the ankle and bring it up, that's fine. And then as you root down, rise up, high lunge. Find a breath here first just to find the shape. And then our options are prayer twist, hands in prayer, hook the elbow outside the knee, or if that's too intense, just bring the forearm outside the knee. Left hand comes to low back. So the reason the left hand would be on the low back here is to help stabilize that low back. So it's not doing the twisting. The twisting happens in the rib space. So it should be a nice release. Inhaling. Exhaling. Your inhale releases the twist. Exhale, hands frame the foot so you're in a runner's lunge, and then float that right foot forward to meet the left. Pulling the chest forward, flat back as you inhale. Bow as you exhale. Reverse your swan dive, root to rise. Exhale, mountain pose. Let your eyes flutter closed. Back to breath, into intention. We'll do one more round on each side, but a little faster. So it'll move a little more. In Vinyasa Yoga, when we start flowing things, we let go of any need for it to be pretty or perfect or even right, whatever that means. Inhale, sweeps the hands overhead, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find your flat back. As you exhale, step the left foot back, release the knee and untuck the toes. One round of our little flow. Inhale, lengthens the right leg. Exhale, rebends the knee. Inhale, float the arms. Exhale, hands frame the front foot, step back, downward facing dog. One vinyasa if you'd like it. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. One round of breath, inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, lifts the right heel, down dog split. Exhale, floats the foot between the hands. Get it there however you need to. And then rise up to your high lunge on the inhale. As you exhale, take your twists. Any variation will do. Stay for the inhale. Stay for the exhale. Nice. Inhale releases the twist. This time, as you exhale, can you step that left foot forward and forward fold at the same time? It's a big transition. Lovely. And then inhale, find your flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, rise up. Exhale, mountain pose. Just one more round like that. Inhale, floats the hands. Exhale, bow. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the right foot back and release the knee. Inhale, lengthens the left leg. Exhale, rebends the knee. Inhale, floats the arms by the ears. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa, inhaling forward. Exhaling to lower. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lifts the left knee, down dog split. Exhale, step the foot through the best you can. Inhale, rise up to your high lunge. Exhale, take your twist. Whatever variations, I see y'all choosing different things. They look great. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, releases the twist. Exhale, step that right foot forward and fold. It's a big one. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, melt. And heel toe those feet about as wide as your hips. Grab those elbows. Sway the hips out. And then release the elbows. Walk your feet a little bit wider so that the heels are on the mat, but the big toes are off it. And then re-bend your knees deeply. We're coming to a malasana squat. So it might be nice if you have something to sit on to get some support under the hips. Otherwise, you don't have to be super low. It depends on how that back is feeling. So if you anchor in the heels and lift in the pelvic floor, you'll find your version of this shape. Good, and then you can sway left and right a little bit. Wonderful. Take the left hand down on a diagonal, float the right arm up. Just a big heart opener. And then come back to the center. And go the other way, right hand down, left arm up. And then back to the center. Plant the hands, lift the hips. If you have a block or a prop you're sitting on, set it to the side. And then this time, we're gonna rebend the knees, but have a seat on the mat. Great, lovely. Hold on to the backs of the thighs or the knee creases if you'd like. Wrap the shoulder blades under. We're coming into a modified boat pose here. So start to lean back, but keep the toes on the mat for now. We're really just looking for the length of the spine, and then maybe you float the arms. Your choice. Inhale here. As you exhale, sit up taller. It's like a little mini crunch. Inhale, tilt back 40 degrees or so. Exhale, lift. So we're looking just for a little bit of extra core activation here. Coming back up on the exhale, and then give those knees a hug. Feel the grounding of your sits bones. We're gonna do one more round with the option to progress it by floating the feet. But if you wanna keep those toes down, and it just becomes a shallow sit-up, oftentimes activating the core can do a lot to relieve that back stuff. So that's what we're looking for. But if you'd like to progress it, so option 1 is to keep holding the knee creases, keep the toes down. Option 2, release the knee creases. Option 3, float the feet. Maybe shins are parallel, or maybe they're long, it's up to you. And if you're taking this, as you inhale, just start to lengthen back a bit. As you exhale, bring the chest back up. That puts strain on your back, set the toes down. Inhale, lengthen arms and legs and back. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, come up. Give the knees a hug, set the feet down. Find those sits bones, and this time, just reach the arms forward and roll yourself down to sit, or to your back rather. So tucking that tailbone, feeling each vertebra one at a time. Nice and gentle onto your back. We're gonna take a little bridge pose here. So bring the heels in. Instead of flowing this time though, we're gonna stay for about 5 breaths. So pressing down through the 4 corners of the feet, slowly curl the spine off the mat. If you wanna grab whatever book or block you are using and find a supported version, you may. Otherwise, start to wrap those shoulder blades under and interlace fingers, gathering the shoulder blades a bit closer, opening up the heart. And then see if you can activate in the feet a bit more, so that any lift is happening starting at the mat. And then maybe you give the glutes a little squeeze. I know people who feel better in their backs when they squeeze the glutes, and I know people who feel worse in their backs when they squeeze their glutes. So feel free to experiment and see what feels better on your body. Again, it's not about a right thing, it's about learning your own skeleton and your own musculature and seeing what serves you right now, which might be different tomorrow. Hopefully still breathing. About one more round, inhaling and exhaling. Stay for the inhale and then lower down for the exhale, so releasing any binding or setting any blocks to the side. Good, and then just a little windshield wiper of the knees, left to right. Wonderful, we're gonna take an inversion here. If you have shoulder stand in your practice, it's a nice time for that. But just because you both have back stuff going on, I'm gonna lead you into a more supported version, which is just taking your arms and legs 90 degrees, so it's nothing fancy. Just flex the feet towards the ceiling at 90 degrees. If this puts strain on your low back, then you'll slide something to get your hips higher, like a yoga block, or like I said, a book, something steady. And then you'll flex your feet skyward. And then once you feel comfortable here, allow the knees to be soft. Allow the feet to be relaxed. So you really feel gravity is pulling down. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen, that sound. Feel that anchoring down, and then float the arms like Frankenstein arms. I like these a lot. And again, the elbows are soft, the wrists are soft, and you just feel the long bones of the arms and legs traveling down into the mat. into their respective sockets. These two joints, of course, mirror each other, the shoulders and the hips. And they do a lot. About 2 more breaths. And then go ahead and release your arms to the mat and lower your feet. We're going to take a little pigeon pose here. If you would rather, you have the option to stay on your back and cross right ankle at left knee and hold that left thigh. Or you can rock yourself up and we'll come to a half pigeon using gravity a little more intensely. So if it feels super tight and you want to stay on your back, do. Otherwise, coming to all fours, just bring your right knee to your right wrist and then walk the left knee back. If that right hip feels like it's a million miles from the mat, you can slide something under it. And then you pull the heart forward and bow over the right leg. So whichever expression of this you're in, it's all about those IT bands, the right outer thigh. They get super tight doing all of this, doing all of life. And a lot of times, especially sciatica, starts in the hips and the hamstrings. So feel that opening, smooth the breath, and allow yourself to release any need to concentrate on anything. Just let go. We're in the wind down part. If you're on your back, you can go ahead and release that and windshield wiper the knees. If you're not on your back, make your way to sit up. And we're all going to sit up for this actually. So if you were lying down coming up to sit, we're going to release that right hip down and cross the left foot over the right thigh. So we're coming to a seated spinal twist. Good. Feeling grounded down in your sits bones. If crossing the ankle outside the knee is a little too much, you don't have to. You can sit just cross-legged instead. You can also take the right leg long, which this is a much less intense version of the same thing. But feel your sits bones on the mat wherever you are. Float the right arm high, inhale. As you exhale, either hook the elbow outside the knee or just give the knee a hug. The left hand is super important here. Take it behind you and use it as a kickstand to help lengthen the spine. Then wrap that right shoulder blade under. So again, that grounding down in the sits bones helps ensure that the rotation, the spiraling happens in the upper back, and the low back is allowed to let go and be a little more supple. Inhale. Exhale. And go ahead and take a brief counter twist to your right. If you are on your back, your left knee or your left ankle is already right here at the right knee, you can roll back. Otherwise, coming back to all fours and setting up for your half pigeon on this side, left knee at left wrist, and walking that right knee back, cushioning up underneath the left hip if you need to, and then lifting the heart and folding forward. Or again, if you're on your back, a little thread the needle around the right hamstring. The point is to connect the breath into the left hip space and to let go of the effort. This is not an effortful shape. I think a lot in this space, in this shape in particular, about singing, and this image that voice teachers often told me about breathing into my legs. And I think until I started practicing yoga, I didn't really understand that. Really feeling the breath in the leg space. Because all of those intercostal muscles, everything that helps support our breath, anchors down into the pelvic floor and into that hip girdle. Maybe that's useful for you too. And slowly start to walk yourself up to sit, whether you were on your back or not, all meeting here with the left hip on the mat and the right foot swung around. And if you feel like those right sits bones are wanting to peel up, just straighten the left leg. That actually feels really good to me today. And then grounding down, float the left arm and take your twist, either hooking the elbow outside the knee or hugging the knee. Good. And then use that right hand behind you to help grow longer. Wrap the left shoulder blade under. Inhaling, exhaling, inhale, exhale, and then go ahead and release that. Take a counter twist to your left, and then coming down, untangle all of that, coming down onto your back. We'll take a little happy baby. So guiding those knees in towards the armpits, flexing feet towards ceiling. And again, you can thread those arms inside the thighs and hold on anywhere. It might be your ankles or calves. It might be the big toes. A gentle pressing up of the feet will help release the low back down. And then you can sway left and right. If there's any other little expression of the shape that you like. Some folks like to lengthen their legs. It's not so important, but whatever feels good. And then start to release all of that, slowly making your way to a comfortable rest. So we have a nice little 5-minute Shavasana, taking the knees and feet far apart from one another, letting them both just flop open. Arms a little wider than they might normally be, especially in these warmer seasons, giving space for circulation of the air. There are those of us for whom having our eyes closed on the floor does not feel safe or comfortable. If that's you, know that you can come into any position of stillness. Legs up a wall or legs on a sofa might feel good on the back. But it is the stillness, of course, that matters. It is also the release of any effort. Clearing and calming of the mind. And if you notice thoughts or distractions coming in, just letting them pass like clouds in the night sky, briefly obscuring the stars, but flowing by. Start to find a little life in your fingers and toes. Maybe taking a good morning stretch, reaching your fingertips towards the wall behind you and your toe tips towards whatever is ahead of you. Before gently, slowly walking your feet in. And keeping your eyes closed if it's comfortable, and with as little effort as possible, rolling onto your favorite side. Taking a moment in this fetal position to feel held and supported before making your way to any comfortable seat. As you arrive, gathering your hands into prayer at heart center, calling to mind any intention you may have said or any dedication you may have made of your practice. We seal our time with the sound of one Om. You don't have to. I know it can feel weird being home alone or with other folks, but I like it because it's about connecting not just with each other, but with that which is beyond us. If you don't want to, though, you'll just focus on an extended exhale. One full round of breath first, inhaling fully, exhaling deeply, inhaling for Om. Bringing your thumbs to your forehead and bowing your chin to your chest, surrendering the knowledge of the mind to the wisdom of the heart. The light that is in me bows to and honors the light that is in you. Namaste. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like, share, and follow dailyflow.yoga.